Hello, everybody, and welcome to the stream. I am back. I'm back after a full uh, day of rest, which I had to take. Nope, I'm skipping that. Um, Let me see. Yeah, a full day of rest that I felt like I had to take. Um, because I was exhausted. I spent the whole day with the family, and no, I just had to get some rest. I couldn't even stream when I got home. Um, yeah, it was just a long, hot day, and yeah, it was lots of fun. So I am sorry for any inconvenience there. Um, yeah, I'm back. I'm back, and I've got a few streams I have in mind. Yeah. One before we play, there is a video I would like to watch with you guys. And it looks like a film, or not a film theory. It's like a um, game theory video, and it looks like I don't know, something from the security logbook has been solved. So I wanna watch that. That's was posted what 3 days ago. So yeah. Um. So let me set this up here. I know I haven't really done a lot of kind of, I don't know, reviews or watching review things in the past before, but I'd like to, get around to changing that a bit. So let me go ahead and set this up. Uh, all right. So I should just be able.
Because we felt if you've been getting scam texts like
Damn it.
these, it was me. I said that probably means your data's been leaked, and I have all of it. Who leaked?
Oh man, another ad. All right. So this is about the security logbook in the Five Nights at Freddy's kind of franchise, and there's been this like mystery around that. So apparently, someone online has solved this problem, and I'd like to kind of just share that video now. Let me see. So let's get to it. Yeah, that looks like it's gonna work. Oh, here it is. Nope, nope, not that one. Gonna lock that in place. And yeah, there we go. Kind of shrink that down. All right, cool. Let's watch this. Let's watch this.
Also in the FNAF movie, there's a drawing of a kid named David whose mum is holding a party balloon. This being the only drawing on this wall to actually have a name for the child who drew it.
Huh. That's interesting.
Huh.
It's really interesting.
Huh. That's very compelling.
That is.
Hey guys, and welcome to GT Not Live, where today is a very important day. A big day.
Huge.
A massive day for not only us,
No, certainly not.
but for the FNAF community.
At large.
Writ large. Is that the same thing, writ large and at large?
I've never heard writ large before.
Have you heard writ large, Sam?
I have heard it. I don't know what it means.
Great. Let's assume that writ large applies in this moment.
Okay.
Writ large, the FNAF community has got to be on the hype train because, well, hype Hyper Droid.
That's so dumb.
Oh, well done.
Thank you. Thank
well
you.
done.
I've been doing it for a while.
Oh man.
Hyper Droid has solved Five Nights at Freddy's. Because every video about Five Nights at Freddy's at this point in 2024 has to solve it. No, specifically, Hyper Droid has gone out and said that they have solved FNAF's biggest mystery. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, what is FNAF's biggest mystery? Ash, what is FNAF's biggest mystery?
FNAF's biggest mystery, at least in the more objective sense, is the matter of the Foxy Grid within the FNAF Survival Logbook, which we have.
Survival?
It's a survival.
Survival?
Yeah,
Survival? Is your Southern coming out?
it's coming out a little bit.
My survival logbook. I did not anticipate that.
I hate how he points this out.
I thought that was normal. No,
You are very well. You're the appropriate level of normal.
thank you.
But I didn't know. Like, do you have any other funny Southernisms that you don't know?
Any funny?
I guess you don't know. So hey,
I mean,
I don't
it's
know.
funny
Maybe
because now I have
it's just me,
Southernisms where
but
I used to
it
have
feels like he's
Northernisms.
kind of
that is
bullying
weird.
them
You're
a little
weird
bit.
little mix of everything,
I'm
aren't
like
you?
a little
But
chameleon.
Yeah.
That's
you're
just
Northern.
me.
Oh man. So
I don't know.
lore, I lived on Long Island until I was 10 years old. So I started 5th grade with a very, very thick New York accent.
Yeah.
And the first question I asked my teacher if there was a nearby water fountain,
Mhm.
and then for the rest of the school year,
Yeah.
she'd be like, Ashley, you want to get me some water?
Oh, jeez.
Wow. The teacher was low-key shaming you for the rest of the year.
The rest of the year. And it kept evolving. Like she forgot what it sounded like.
Quality
So
school
it went
system.
from water to wooder to wooder.
Wooder.
Huh?
Wooder.
So I went from incredibly New York
Yep.
to now incredibly Southern.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Fascinating.
Huh.
So you just it's like spot the accent.
Spot the accent, yeah.
That's fun. So
Yeah.
in this case, survival.
So, yeah, the survival logbook. I
Wait,
can't even tell.
wait,
Yeehaw!
wait.
Um,
Can you say it again?
the survival logbook.
How long
There
is
it
this again?
Perfect. Awesome. So we got the survival
An
logbook
hour?
here.
Well, we'll watch it.
And
We'll watch it.
To be fair, like at this point, right? I feel like every mystery in FNAF has been claimed as like the biggest mystery of the franchise.
I think that's one of the biggest problems of this franchise is there's always a big mystery. And I think a lot of times people tend to overlook or overanalyze certain details of the franchise. That's how I feel about it. And then there's like certain details they don't look too much into because they feel like they've either solved it or it's like not important. But I don't know. Let's watch it.
But if you were to ask me, what is the one thing, or what are like the small handful of things that I still have as like, this one really gets me or irks me, it is one of those things called the Foxy Grid, right here in the middle of the book, where it is. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna turn to that page.
I'm sorry.
What?
You smacked it on your leg so hard. He went,
That is how determined I am to solve this thing.
he's mad about this.
You know it. There it is. Here we go. Right here. So on page 95 of the book, right, you get this very obvious grid
Ooh.
where it tells you here at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, many of the arcade machines use
Oh, the
8-bit
grid.
graphics.
Yeah.
Use the grids below to convert Foxy into an 8-bit graphic. And very obviously, there are letters written into the first 3 squares that say ABC. So this was very obviously included in here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I see. You've gone to row 4.
Yeah,
These
it's just
letters.
just writing in some of these.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's very obviously meant to be a clue that is solvable in some way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this is the decoder key for the thing that you're looking for. And for years, we did multiple theories about like what the potential solution for this is, how we were stumped by it. Eventually,
Hello.
it led way for us.
We're
solving
watching
the process.
we're watching a video on game theory here, where they kind of go over one of the mysteries in that game. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. It's not gonna be all day. It's a pretty long video, but they do get up and stop and talk about these things in the video. So that's why it's so long. Matt Pat is notorious when it comes to stalling in this. Yep. So I've got the subtitles up for anybody who wants to read along if you don't, if you have a hard time understanding. So we've got that up on video.
But all the clues were on a different page, which left the Foxy Grid oddly silent. And to a degree that when I retired and talked to Scott, I asked him about the Foxy Grid. And
Really?
And he did not give me the answer.
Really? Okay, because I know you got some amount of information.
I did.
Right?
I actually got a lot of information. Yeah.
A lot of information, but
Hmm.
not about the Foxy Grid.
Yeah. I didn't get an answer on the Foxy Grid.
Oh man, he loves that people can't solve it.
Today we are reacting to this. I have not gotten a chance to watch this. I just saw it, and everyone's like, "This is getting very well received."
Yes.
In general, people seem to agree with the solution.
Yes, it's gotten very positive reception, even on FNAF Twitter. People have been, largely positive about this theory, which is awesome. We had Hyperdroid on one of our FNAF talkbacks,
Sure.
so this is a buddy of ours, and it's just exciting. It's
Right.
like, yay!
And in a world where we've reacted to a variety of different FNAF theorists at this point,
Yeah.
we have episodes coming out with ID's Fantasy and us reacting to Raito's theory, so that's them.
Yes.
John FNAF, we did Dual Process
Classic.
Theory.
Mhm.
We have not done a Hyperdroid reaction.
No.
Hyperdroid, for those of you who don't know, is probably best known for their yearly timelines. I would say,
Yes.
it seems like that's been kind of a tradition for them at this point, where at the end of the year,
Yearly timelines on this? That's crazy. I wonder how long they've been doing that. But to think to put out a timeline every year for this franchise, that's crazy to me. That's crazy to think.
there's the channel does kind of like timeline of 2024, or like the current existing state of the FNAF timeline, taking any new information into account, revising certain things from the past, but it kind of is like this building, ongoing, living document that's like the recap for the year of FNAF. So that's, I think, the videos that they've really kind of put their stamp on and that the channel's most associated with. But there have been small theories here and there in between, and this is the one that today we got to discuss.
Oh, must discuss.
Must discuss, which is also exciting because, this is Ash's first little rodeo at the old FNAF theorizing.
Oh man, I'm feeling it right now.
Yeah.
This is the big stuff.
Yeah, no pressure.
Yeah. Okay.
No
Okay.
pressure.
I've sat in on a lot of these episodes before.
That
Here's the
little
thing.
zoom
Let
in.
Hyperdroid do the solving, and we get the easy job of just critiquing the solution.
We could just get to discuss.
We get to discuss.
All right.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Going into this, I am hopeful. I am always hopeful. If you ever want to get my attention for this franchise, saying that you solved the Foxy Grid I will stop everything that I'm doing, and I'm like, I am there. I need to see it. This has been lingering on my list for so long.
Oh, I need to do something real quick. I'm sorry. Let me see. Something just came up here. So this will be a test here. Oh, wait, it's updating? One moment, please. I didn't expect this to update. There we go. One moment. Ah. Oh. Oh. Hold on. Something's happening. What is going on? Just a big blank screen here. Ah. There we go. What is happening here? Oh yeah, this was all broken, wasn't it? Oh no. One moment, please. One moment. There we go. That's way better. Way better. Is it picking up the hand tracking? I don't know if it is. Hand tracking, calibrate. Yes. Turn that on. Ooh. Yes, it's working. All right. All right. Okay. Sit over here. Hey, there we go. So I had to change tracking programs. That may be a little bit better. Plus, it'll catch my hand gestures and all that. Let's see here. Do I want to reverse that? Let me see. Invert. No. Yeah, there we go. That's a little bit better. There we go. I'll switch that when I'm playing a game or something. Oh yeah, this button. This button here. We were watching a video.
Long. So
Oh,
I
dude.
hope that it's been done.
Oh man, I mean, one of the comments I saw on this was like, MatPat's gonna drop kick his copy of the book after he sees this.
That would be
Huh?
awesome if
Well,
you did that.
we'll see. Will today's episode end with me drop kicking my copy of this? Find out today, friends. We're gonna find out. So without any further,
Go back in that.
we'll see. Will today's episode end with me drop kicking my copy of this?
Yes. You got the
Find out
editor
today,
putting up a
friends. We're
big
gonna find
post.
out. So without
Yes.
any further ado, I think we just hop into this
Hop, skip, and jump right in.
because it's an 18-minute long video, and I'm sure we will get through a fraction of it.
All right.
This is Hyperdroid. I solved FNAF's biggest mystery, survival log.
Wow, it's a.
For clarifying.
You see that?
Intro.
It's an 18-minute video there. It's an 18-minute and 14-second video. But Matt has squeezed out, what, an hour and 23 minutes in 55 seconds?
This is a theory.
Wow.
FNAF Survival Logbook
Incredible.
released 6 years ago and contained puzzles together.
Sorry. I just have to process that. I have to dual process that emotion.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That
6
theory,
years.
Yeah.
6 years ago for this thing. So long
6
ago.
years.
FNAF is such an old
That's crazy.
franchise at this point.
Right? Life was so different 6 years ago.
It really was.
Yeah.
Just vastly different. There wasn't pandemic. There was, the cell phone still flipped. I don't know. Did they still flip at that point?
I mean, there's still some that flip. I feel like they're more actually common now than they were in 2017 to have
that's
a flip
probably
phone.
yeah. I guess that's true. They kind of have a resurgence.
Yeah, but that was before we knew what Poppy Playtime or the Garden of Banban was.
Oh, more peaceful times.
More peaceful times for sure.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's-
times they are.
That's rough.
changing.
So true.
Yeah.
I think I've heard that phrase before. I don't know where though.
Times they are changing.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a fairly common phrase.
It's like
Right.
Bob Dylan
I
or
don't
something.
know what the original source of it is. What's the thing?
Is it Bob Dylan?
Hey,
No.
Is it Bob
Oh,
Dylan?
you're asking me.
Yeah.
Bob Dylan. Oh, ad. It's an ad. Sorry about that.
let's look off camera. Sam, the times they are changing. Who's
wrote-
that one from?
Who did that song first?
Who did that though?
Off the top of my head, I'm not all that familiar with Bob Dylan's discography.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna definitely look into it.
I like the fact that for those of you
Hmm.
who are just
Yeah,
tuning in for the
I'm
first time,
pretty
this
sure it is
Snap
Bob
related,
Dylan.
Sam, Michigan Grandpa, is behind the camera at this point. Now that Ash is in front of the camera, and one thing about Sam's unique style of running behind the camera is that he has the microphone in his hand the entire time, as opposed to putting it on a mic stand like a singer.
So he's running around
And
like a
so,
TV
as a result, he has
host
to
with a microphone in his hand. That's funny.
while holding his microphone.
Hey, times they are a changing. Okay.
Clearly.
Let me say, quote. You know who said it? Sam said it. But also Bob Dylan said it.
Hey,
So
well
you
done.
know.
Hey, there you
Yeah,
go.
Well done to both of you.
Bob
Well done
Dylan.
for the callback joke. Well done for the Bob Dylan reference.
Sick Bob Dylan reference to
Sick.
GT Live.
Sickest Bob Dylan.
There
That
we
was
go.
sick, bro.
When I think the music of Bob Dylan, I don't really think of
Someone's done it before. Do you think Bob Dylan's ever pulled that? Like it's a song. He's like,
Not really
"Ah."
tracking all that
Like
well.
when you're at, because I was at a Styx concert the other week, and it felt like there were a lot of people doing that. And I'm like, I don't think that's the music of Styx either. Like I associate this sort of thing with a very specific style of music, but it seems like it is now the go-to for just music, lyrics, vocal intonation,
Instruments.
yeah, the times they are changing.
So true.
Like,
Come gather around.
Jeez.
and the Hyperdroid's like, listen to me.
Please.
Enough yapping.
Enough yapping.
FNAF Survival
Try
Logbook
again.
released 6 years ago and contained puzzles to get the 2 names of the most important characters. The 5th missing child that possesses
Sure.
Golden Freddy, who some theorize to be the one
Yep.
you should not have killed,
Yep.
and the crying child.
We don't know
The
that for
crying
sure.
child. Okay.
I mean, that's an assumption that we've all kind of made, is that there's a second name in here. I don't think that's necessarily the case. It'd be cool if it did. And it, the fact that there's multiple ghostly spirits in here and things like that, yes. So it would make sense to, but, the book could have been solved with just discovering Cassidy's name, potentially.
Whose importance in this story is still debated to this day. Today, I am here to announce that I think I might have solved it.
Great.
Seriously. We're not wasting any more time, so
He
please subscribe
thinks-
and turn on
Did you catch that? He thinks he solved it.
whose importance in this story is still debated to this day. Today, I am here to announce that I think I might have solved it.
Great.
Seriously. We're not wasting any more time, so please
So it's not a
subscribe and turn on
definite
notifications
Okay.
so you get notified
thought
when the biggest FNAF video ever,
behind
over
that.
24 hours long and a whole year in the making, going over
see.
literally everything. FNAF The Supreme Guide releases
Oh,
in
that's a different book. I thought we were watching that video.
Hmm.
I was like, whoa, this is a very intense document for solving the code.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, look at this sidebar here. We're referencing Freddy in Space 3.
Jeez.
All the different chapters.
Very
An
lore-
hour-long video.
document
a whole
details.
year in the making, going over literally everything. FNAF The Supreme Guide
FNAF the Supreme Guide.
Whoa.
But will it be better than the character encyclopedia? Yes, actually.
Yeah, that's come on.
That's very easy.
Yeah.
releases in just a few weeks.
Just a few weeks.
Oh.
When this video comes out as I'm saying this. And let's get into
Awesome.
it. Although before we begin, a giant disclaimer that this is just a theory.
Kind of knew he would do that.
It's all right. I know it's written in your contract.
I know. Every
yeah,
time.
it's fine.
Every time.
Free to disagree with me and not take these possible answers at all. I just happen to get the solution and personally think that it works pretty well,
Yeah.
so of course I'm going to share it. This
man.
is just a theory. Please, let's keep this.
It's
my
actually
God.
more of a book theory, to be honest.
That's true.
If I'm being 100% truthful, it's not a game theory.
But we don't have a channel about that.
A game franchise theory.
Thanks for reading.
This community positive.
Thanks for reading.
Real quick.
Okay.
So shortly
That's
after
funny.
FNAF 6 released and seemingly ended the original story, the Survival
Mm-hmm.
Logbook released. Itself being basically a children's activity book containing things like quizzes, would you rathers, drawing grids, etc. However,
Yeah, it's one of those things that, and I think the timing of this is important because I'm glad that he brought it up, but I think it bears repeating. This came when the series really did reach its conclusion, right? Like up until that point, FNAF 3 was supposed to be the last one. FNAF 4 was supposed to be the last one. And then when it came back for Sister Location, it was very clear that Scott went back and kind of reevaluated things and said like, "Oh, I want to close off this story in a more satisfying way for the audience," right?
Yeah.
And so that's where 5 and 6 came out. And 5, I think at the end of Sister Location, no one really had any anticipation that that was the last one. Like
Right.
it was one of those things where because it ends on a little bit of a cliffhanger, because there is no sense of like conclusion or satisfaction at the end of it, everyone was kind of expecting there to be one more. But then when FNAF 6 came, has that very definitive ending, things like that, it's like, okay, this is the
It felt like a definitive ending because all the characters in this franchise more or less burned. Like there was no remaining body to return to. All the souls kind of just were supposed to leave the possessed body. At the end of this franchise, about number 6, and I feel like Scott Cawthon himself, he kind of went back through the story and just did not like a lot of the things that were either said or done in the story, And so he more or less just went back and kind of retconned things in the future titles of this franchise. I feel like at this point, in Five Nights at Freddy's, I feel like he is kind of digging himself a hole, when it comes to the story writing, because he had tried to clarify a lot of different things, and it just has not worked out. When it comes to the overall arcing story, I feel like if he were to take the story, um, if he were to take the story bits and take what he really likes, or not even necessarily what he likes, but what kind of works the best in this story. I think if he were to really sit down with um what he had written down on paper and tried to really like hone in on these story beats, that a lot of the things that caused a lot of confusion, I think would um more or less kind of fix itself, because let's be real with this. Okay, he wrote these stories very, very quickly, and he wrote them, I wouldn't say haphazardly, but to me it seems that way. Like he wrote this story and he didn't really know where to go with this, but the fact that the fan base is trying to piece this all together and fix the story, I mean, is it a good franchise when you have, or you have to rely on your fan base to fix your story where you screwed up on a lot of different things? And Matt Pat earlier in the video said that when he retired from game theory, like fully, and now he's kind of doing behind the scenes like this, he asked Scott and he didn't really get an answer to a lot of the different story beats. I feel personally that Scott doesn't know. Like he doesn't know the answer to a lot of these questions that a lot of people like Matt have been asking, and I don't know.
The end of this arc, right? 4 was meant to be the first ending, didn't really pan out the way it was expected, so now 6 is the official ending. So for this guy to then be coming out immediately afterward, I think it lends a lot of credence to what he's saying right here, which is the fact that this was meant to solve the last lingering mysteries, right? The idea of who is the vengeful spirit / who is Golden Freddy, because that was one of the big question marks that was still left open-ended at that point. And then who is the crying child, right? What is their name? Just because this was the end of the series, and this was basically the last thing released for that arc of this franchise before it entered into, you know, Help Wanted and the Next Generation, Security Breach, all like the modern era of FNAF now. So that idea of that this is the final clue that closes off all the mysteries of that original series is actually really important. History, context. Context matters.
However, on the first page, it's revealed that this logbook was actually owned by Michael Afton himself, and so we knew we were in for some lore reveals. Mike notes that his recent dreams are of Nightmare Fredbear, confirming he's the player of FNAF 4, that he actually connects with and parallels Clara from The Immortal and the Restless, and with all the FNAF 3 imagery and the fact Clara quote-unquote burned down the house, seemingly hinting that he's indeed the FNAF 3 guide as well, even having a real value code which proves that the book takes place in modern times.
Yeah, all of this is really well said and accurate, right? Like, again, you get a sense that this, coupled with things that released shortly before this, was kind of like, yes, we're confirming X, Y, and Z. It's also one of the reasons why, yeah, the whole Mike connection across all of the eras.
to me, it's kind of hard to place Mike. I've never played the games, but I've followed the story. I think the trying to place or connect Mike to these stories is another big problem that has been kind of there's like 3 or maybe even 5 people. The main like there are these connections that they're trying to make, and I don't again, I've never played these. I've been following the story, but a lot of these character connections on, oh well, this person was here and this person was there at this time and this time. I think it muddles a lot of the overall story. Like everybody's trying to place these characters in these locations at these times. And I don't know, I feel like a lot of it is wrong, but that's how I feel. Um, I don't know.
That he's in 4, that he's in 3, all of that. Like, this book, for being kind of the wacky spin-off book for kids that it was marketed as, ended up being the single most important thing that the franchise ever released when it comes to solving these mysteries, and was the linchpin in so many other theories that came out around that time, answers that we now consider to be fairly standard, stuff like that. So again, importance of this cannot be understated.
However, that's not all. Throughout this logbook, we also learn of 2 other spirits inhabiting the book, whether literally or not. One writing in faded text to someone else, altering the text.
Love this.
Writing
Faded and
multiple
altered,
times
man.
throughout things like, do you remember your name? Who
Love
are
it.
you? And
How many
what's your
times can we
name?
talk about
Hinting
this?
that
It's
we're
great.
meant to get the names of these 2 spirits within the logbook. Very quickly, we discovered that one spirit is the crying child, hinted at via the "does he still talk to you" text next to the Fredbear
I don't think that the crying child, whoever this person is necessarily the one inhabiting the book. Because we get this story of like these 2 spirits or these 2 people talking back and forth using this book. I don't believe that the crying child is one of them.
plush, as well as other hints, and that the other was the 5th missing child who possesses Golden Freddy, hinted at via the gravestone drawing having my name written on it by Faded only a few weeks after we got the final FNAF game, with an ending literally containing a name hidden on a gravestone for the 5th missing child.
Oh, wow.
Fast forward to June 4th.
I'm surprised that came out in such quick succession to
Yeah.
see the whole timeline, because like you said, this book coming out and adding that context for you to go back, play the previous games, and like use the information from here to recontextualize and help you piece together some of those mysteries, I feel like is a really smart move. And as a fan, I'm sure that was so satisfying when it was happening.
Oh yeah, it was,
So-
it was super exciting. It was super exciting. It was also one of those things where that's why there was such an urgency to it in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
Because it was like this is the key that holds the answers, and so for us not to be able to solve it or figure out what it was trying to tell us was so infuriating.
I'm sure.
Which is also one of the reasons why the Foxy Grid has been that big question mark, because it was clearly meant to be used somehow, somewhere, some way,
Right.
and yet no one could figure it out. The Cassidy stuff kind of like worked itself out on its own, but it didn't require the Foxy Grid. So it's like, well, what was this meant to be then?
Yeah. Also,
I believe that the Foxy Grid is a mislead. I think that there are too many people looking into, or again, like I said earlier, there's a lot of things in this franchise that people, to me, seem to overanalyze. And I think that kind of going back and falling back on these old quote unquote clues, they're to me, it's just a lot of misleading, and yeah, I don't know.
December 26th release date, that's rough. I hope there were pre-orders, because the amount of kids who were like, can I get this as a late Christmas gift?
To be fair, and even back in the day, I was debating whether or not to get this, because I suspected that there would be clues in it, but it was one of those things that all the publicly facing materials for it were just like the kiddie stuff. And I'm like, is this actually going to be something that's relevant for lore solvers or adults when it's very clearly branded at kids and like, would you rather and fill in the blanks? Because there really is not a whole lot to do with the book outside of the clues. Like, yeah, you can draw things, you can like write little responses and prompts and stuff. And it's cute in the way that like a coloring book is kind of cute. Like, working the night shift can be hard, especially when the people closest to you work daylight hours. Just 5 people you want to see at the end of the day.
Right.
It's like okay, mom, dad, sister, Skip, I don't know, like, yeah, stuff like that. So I remember getting this and then suddenly seeing that there were like hidden codes, and I'm like, oh, I'm glad my hunch was right. Because otherwise, the other thing is, this would have been lost to the ages, I feel like. You know, had a couple of the FNAF theorists not like taking the chance on this thing and giving it a shot, similar to like the FNAF coloring book or the FNAF cookbook, things where I've also gotten them and I'm like, there's got to be lore in here or some secret, and they haven't had that. Back in the day, we weren't used to buying books for this franchise.
Right.
And so getting a kids activity book was like, oh. I'm also glad you pointed out the timing of this book, because I think if you were to ask me today, right, removed from the context of the time, like, oh, there's a gravestone and with my name on it, and that's clearly a reference to Golden Freddy, you might look at that and be like, well, that's a stretch, right? Like, why would I associate Mystery Gravestone with Golden Freddy of all of the characters?
Right, yeah.
But because you had just ended with a FNAF 6 ending where a gravestone was hidden, very clearly Golden Freddy's, and then the next major clue you see in this book is gravestone with my name alluded to, it's like, oh, one and the same. Very clearly, these are meant to communicate with each other.
Right, they're in recent memory, so it's easy to connect.
Which is one of the reasons why I like some of the stuff that like Rytoast and John FNAF have been doing, where they're like, hey, let's look at the clues in the context of the time that they were released.
Yes.
Because it really does change the way that you analyze them. The story has changed, the way it tells itself has changed, the lore has evolved in a lot of ways. And so, especially when you're solving mysteries that are, what, like 10 years old at this point. Right, which is nuts. It's like, oh, we need to remember what the context of the discussion was at the time in order to get like a full perception of.
That's another problem with this, is when these are released, there's a lot of things that I think a lot of the story has been influenced by the fans, like what Scott sees and hears when it pertains to Five Nights at Freddy's. I think that he had an original story, but was like, oh, I like this story beat more. I'm going to put these in the future games. And I believe the fan feedback and enthusiasm for these games have muddled the overall story, because he's constantly looking at the community and he's saying, oh, yeah, that's actually really good. Let me put that in the next game. And so his original story for Five Nights at Freddy's has changed due to the influence of the fans. And overall, I believe that has kind of ruined the story overall.
Of what this thing was meant to be,
right?
You know, so I think it's an important shout out.
And MatPat released a game theory about the logbook, asking us to help him solve this thing after providing us with numbers that throughout the logbook are either in the wrong places or noted in red as important. Those being 52, 39, 15, 7 and 2, grabbing the new numbers from the chalkboard 5 plus 4 for 9 and the 3, 10 and 11, and finally 8, 11. Then later that same day on the Game Theory subreddit, user DPowerful1 figured out that you need to insert these numbers into the word search grid instead of the Foxy grid, giving us 5 5 across, 2 down for C, 3 across, 9 down for A, 1 across, 5 down for S, 7 across, 2 down for S, 9 across, 3 down for I, 10 across, 11 down
Unreal.
for D, and finally 8 across, 11 down for Y to create
All-star. The powerful one, all-star. Legend to this day.
So true.
Again, important to remember, without that person solving that code, would we know Cassidy's name?
Who's to say?
That's one of the reasons why,
Who's to say?
right? I mean, honestly, it's like this is where Cassidy came from, and it's one of those things that's why we made a video about it, because we're like we don't know where this is going. We were so fixated on those numbers going to the Foxy grid. Makes sense. There's numbered letters and columns.
Right.
Why would you put it in the word search, which is not lettered or numbered? Well, it's lettered, but it's not like numbered.
Right.
As opposed to the Foxy grid, where it was lettered and numbered, and there were letters. Yeah. Designing escape rooms matters, and how the clues communicate with each other need to make logical sense. And this was one of those ones where I'm like, I can't deny that this is the correct solution, but the way that the clues fit together were not as seamless or as continuous as I would have expected.
Yeah.
So, but without the powerful one, that who knows? You would still be referring to it as the missing spirit and the crying child.
Truly the powerful one.
The most powerfulest.
Powerfulest one.
Most powerful.
create the name Cassidy,
Cassidy.
the name of the Golden Freddy spirit. Finally, it was solved. However, that then left the Foxy grid unfinished, and there's clearly something there with the faded out ABC on the top left. Years later, the powerful duo on Reddit, Godzilla and Wolfie, shared their joint attempt at it. Some of Cassidy's questions to Crying Child were not responded to, but there were a few that actually were. Does he still talk to you? Was responded with, I can hear sounds. The party was for you was responded to with, it was for me. What do you see? Was responded to, I can't see, which using the page numbers for the questions got 75, 103, and 59, which in putting it into the Foxy grid gave us 7 across 5 down to get E, 10 across 3 down to get V, and 5 across 9 down to get A. Then finally they predicted that the random tally marks throughout were to be used to get the final letter, totaling to 47, and getting the letter 4 across and 7 down N to create the name Evan. However, just like MatPat said in his video, despite not being a bad theory or anything, the method does end up breaking on the 4th letter, and they end up using an entirely separate system to get it. Which
Right. And again, this gets to that point of when you're designing an escape room or designing any puzzle, but I think escape rooms are a really good one. There's a certain logical flow or a certain like rule set that goes with, oh, this clue then leads to this clue, which then leads to this clue. And whether or not you can articulate that consistency or that puzzle solving logic, it has to exist in order for the puzzle to be satisfying and in order for you to feel good about it, right?
Right.
And so with this one, yeah, when you have 3 clues or 3 kind of like potential leads here, Cassidy question, and then something else,
Yeah.
one of these things isn't like the other and it's not satisfying. That could very well be the answer. Like I've seen, you know, lots of escape rooms, lots of puzzles, things like that kind of break their own logic because they didn't think to follow it through all the way, or maybe they didn't know how to kind of like do the last thing, whatever, that last step in the process. But it creates an unsatisfying puzzle. It's like when you brute force, so like when you try a puzzle piece into every single slot, and you like get there, and you're like, oh, I guess it fit, but it wasn't satisfying, and you're still like, well, was
I feel like this part with the tally marks, it's an understanding to have misgivings on something or something, but to say that it's not important or it doesn't count because it's a different puzzle or it's a different clue is a little nitpicky. That's how I feel about it. The tally marks and that kind of feels like. But again, it could also be a mislead. Like maybe you're looking too much into this and yeah, you're just trying to find something to solve a puzzle.
that the right way to do it?
Right. It's like you wanted to go through the logical steps within the paradigm that you had already set up. Right?
Exactly. Yes. 100%. So that's why I always had a problem with this one. The use of the Cassidy questions, the unanswered Cassidy questions, or like I can't see this and that, was never something that I associated with like, oh, this is obviously a clue, but I like it because very clearly the voices are talking to each other, But yeah, it was just the last one that was always kind of the one that dropped the ball on the theory.
Which feels like the wrong thing to do, as for Cassidy was using the specifically marked numbers throughout, aka only using one method. This then led the community to collectively wave the white flag, and
Although to be fair, and I will say this again too, like you'll even notice it here. Yes, they're all united by numbers. And this was always one that, again, rubbed me slightly the wrong way with the Cassidy numbers, was it's a page number, it's a page number, it's a page number. It was an altered page number, but like it was, again, like everything had to do with page numbers. And then on those other pages of It's Me, it also was highlighted numbers. Number 5, the total made by the numbers. So what that's referencing is, I turned right to it.
Whoa,
yeah.
That was pretty cool.
So on this, so there's this one page, right, where they give you like the start of a comic, like the start of a little comic page. And very obviously on one side of the comics, there's Freddy and Foxy, and they're at a school desk, and on the chalkboard, there's 5 + 4, and then the number 3 in the bottom right corner. And it's 5 + 4, obviously 9, and then 3. It felt like it was trying to teach you how to solve the clues rather than anything else, right? It's saying like, hey, if you find a number on the page, somewhere in the middle of the page, add them up. And then the page number in the bottom right-hand corner of the book has its own meaning, right? Like the 3 down in the corner, just like it's down in the corner of the chalkboard. And so here, I'm going to show it to you guys.
Go on in.
This is going to ruin Sam's focus. I'm sorry, Sam. Oh, that sucks. There we go. That's terrible still. Can you focus it, Sam? Thanks, bud. Do a little zoom on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Refocus. There it is.
Yeah, we're there.
Yeah, so there it is, right? So you have 5 + 4 and then 3 in the corner. The 3 is very clearly in the bottom corner of the chalkboard, just like a page number is, right? And then the 5 + 4 seems to be indicating that, like, oh, somewhere, if you find numbers in the middle of the page or on a specific page, you add those numbers up to get something. And so for all of a sudden, you know, to find one of the codes or like one of the letters of Cassidy to actually be, you know, 993 or whatever it ends up being, it just felt weird, right? It didn't feel as satisfying because one of these things was not like the others. Everything else had to do with page numbers. This one was a total made by separate numbers. So again, irked me a little bit, but it worked really well and seemed to align with everything else.
Also, very impressive reframe, Sam.
Thank you.
Like, I'm like, wow, the spacing from the arms is like exactly the same.
Nice. See, look at that.
Yay!
Woo! Crushing it, man.
One method. This then led the community to collectively wave the white flag and quite honestly give up. A lot of people, like me, not even trying to go back at it in the future because we felt like everything was already tried. This has allowed the puzzle to remain unsolved for 6 years.
So for me, I didn't go back to I've gone back to it every once in a while. The reason I didn't go back to it though was because I thought that maybe we had solved the puzzle with skipping a step, for lack of a better word, where sometimes, again, to use escape rooms as an example, because this book is kind of like its own mini escape room, sometimes you accidentally miss a point in the logical flow of a conclusion,
Right.
and you know, and so they thought like, oh, people solving this would need a middle step before they got to the end,
Right.
but we just kind of jumped ahead and, you know, whatever the Foxy grid was meant to be, we missed it and it wasn't necessary. We got what the book was trying to tell us, which was Cassidy.
Right. It's like doing the math wrong, but still getting the right answer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And so for me, it wasn't so much like, oh, this bothers me, that, or like I'm giving up on it, but rather it's like, oh, I guess we solved it. But I always wanted to see how it would have worked in the logical flow, or if there was another solution. But yeah.
Yeah.
And therefore, the crying child has gone unnamed for 9 whole years.
Yep.
Oh my
This is where I come in.
Oh.
Last year, I, along with some friends, tried solving the Foxy grid in the logbook again. One of my copies for the logbook had what seemed to be an F10 down, which the only way to get that was to have the grid be 15 by 15 instead, which the numbers do fade out completely at 15. However, after checking a few more copies, it turns out it hardly even exists there, and is very faded out to the point that no one else has really gotten it.
An F down there. Here, I will tell you right now if my copy has an F down there. Because that would be very arbitrary. Like if it's like you're only allowed to use 15 things on one direction and 15 things on another direction, that would seem very okay. Here, let me
Okay.
like use the flashlight here
Ah!
Is that an F?
I see like a slight line going across on the top.
Is it a smudge or an F? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this
Right?
one.
It looks mildly coffee colored.
It does look mildly coffee colored.
Here, do you want double? Double light?
Yeah, I guess it could be. Here we go.
Is this lore hunting?
Is it this? This is lore. Is this lore?
I don't-
Yeah, I can see an F slightly. It's very light and it's not as clear as the other guys.
Here, can I?
Yeah, please
Thank
go
you.
for it. Please observe.
Yes and no.
Right? It's a yes and a no.
It's one of those things where I don't know if you've ever done those like listening to music backwards. And it's like, oh, there's a message in here, but it sounds like gibberish, and then someone tells you what it says and you can hear it perfectly.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a similar level of psychology here where I'm told there's an F, and so I am more likely to see an F in this.
Mhm.
But I do kind of see it. But again, it's like coffee.
Right? It's also coffee color. All right, Sam, I'm tossing it over to you.
I mean, I can see the color. I think it's stain, personally. Like, it's the same tone as all of the other stains within the grid.
Right?
Like, it's the same color as those.
I can see, right? It's like you said, Ash. It's yes and no. I can see the F. Is it an intentional F though, or is it because the ABC is very clearly intentional? It is like a light red A, B, and C written small in these first couple squares. This F feels like it kind of breaks from that.
Right? It's like I would need it to be in red, or if you wanted to keep it faded, which I don't know why you would, because this is like the red ink, which is
Yeah.
decidedly different.
Yeah.
It would need to be like a redder F, you
Right?
know?
This is one of those things that like you would think that if they are using this to say like this is how you solve the puzzle, they would use a similar sort of font and style as the ABC that came before.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't it's not as clear as the other ones were.
Right.
It also doesn't really make sense. Like, they gave you the hint in the first 3 boxes. Like, they did ABC.
Right.
They filled out the letters to show you what the pattern was.
Yeah.
Throwing a random F in there doesn't really seem like it helps much.
I would push back on that. I think
Please.
in terms of like going down the grid and how far down you're supposed to go, if you fill in a random letter later on in the puzzle, and if you're filling out the grid and then you do find that an F is supposed to be there, it's more confirmation that
This here is searching for something. Like, they're grasping at straws, trying to find something that will give them some kind of confirmation in their search. And this here with the F and the grid, I feel is a stretch. It is absolutely a stretch to do this.
you're doing the right thing, right? So if you wanted to give that extra clue way down the line after someone's already done most of the work, then, you know, it could throw someone completely off their trail if they got it wrong, or it's confirmation of like, and it works, which,
Yeah.
you know, but I don't think that's what's happening here.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think it would be the same font as the
Yes,
other ones.
no, 100%.
Yeah.
It would totally be written in red, which is not here.
Yeah, it's not really written in red. I will say that like the more I look at it, there is, I mean, it is very clearly like there is a very vertical line and a very slight horizontal line.
Yeah.
Like you can see that there is something that, again, whether it's the texture of the coffee spot or whatever, it feels very like specific. Like here's a vertical and a cross in the middle.
Can we get some F's in the grid?
Yeah, let's get some F's in the grid, Chad.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's the thing. But again, it's one of those where it's like if you were meant to fill in the alphabet A B C D E F G, why would you arbitrarily cut it off at 15? So
Right.
it's a 15 by 15 square. That seems silly to me. As opposed, and to your point, it's like, oh, the F would serve as a check-in. You're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
But to just say like, oh, 15 by 15, the whole top row is numbered.
Right.
Here too. It's not like sure the numbers fade away down the left-hand column, but the numbers along the top are all there. So presumably you would want to use all of the That's basically the puzzle maker saying, use all of the things along the top, and only the first 15 rows of the side matter.
Right, and then with this hard, like, horizontal line here, I feel like if you're not, like, this could go off, and I'd still be tempted to fill out down here, so
Right.
it's more of like a
Yeah, this
even.
is a contained space. Yeah, so anyway, okay. It's a lot of talk about the F.
Yes.
I'm curious. Hopefully it's not too foundational to what everything else is built on.
leading me to the conclusion that it's actually just a part of the background image of the same color, and just so happens to fit a box by coincidence. I then tried to reverse engineer getting Garrett, which is assumedly the crying child stand-in's name in the movie,
Sure.
like Abby is for Elizabeth, but I couldn't find a solution either. I then wrote in my Supreme Guide script that one day I may come back to it and try to solve it. Anyways, it's been a whole year since I wrote that, because that video turned extremely massive, and so I returned to the logbook recently. This time, I decided to do what I've done here and go back through the old solutions, seeing if we missed anything, and it always ticked me that the 3 letters E, V, and A seem to work perfectly fine.
They do work.
But then the fourth just doesn't. The method of using the pages that Cassidy asks questions that are the only ones in the whole book to actually get replied to makes so much sense to me.
Sure.
She asks a lot of questions, yet only 3 get replied to, so surely that means something. Also, notice how the numbers begin fading at 10 and are fully gone by 15, meaning that the only necessary rows are actually the first 9, which just happens to fit every single coordinate for EVA. Then,
That's a good call out, and that goes to what we were saying just a couple minutes ago, which
Right.
is, you know, the fading out of the line numbers just means like at a certain point you've gotten past what is relevant, right? So I would agree with that. I also agree with the fact that, you know, the fact that those first 3 letters make sense works in a lot of ways. The other thing that again that I'm curious if he'll bring up or if it plays into this solution is the tally marks. So that is when there are 2 clues that linger in this book, right? One is the Foxy grid. Obviously, that's kind of the focus of today. But the other one is like, there are just random tally marks in the book. And sometimes they're 5, sometimes they're 2. They're on random pages. But it's one of those things like here,
Oh,
there's
okay.
10.
Yeah.
You know, 2 groups of 5. And you don't just arbitrarily put a bunch of tally marks in a book filled with codes, not expecting them to mean anything.
Right.
Right? Like, hey, we're inserting a whole new number system, here's 5, you know, into this book. Why? To me, Foxy Grid and tally marks may be connected in some way. So
and it hit me. Something Altered writes in the logbook is I'm scared, which in the past was linked to the tally marks for some reason, but what if instead it actually links back to Cassidy asking, do you still have dreams? Right above a picture of the nightmares, who we heavily theorize Crying Child would have seen at some point. A stretch, sure, but then notice how I can hear sounds, which link back to E, it was for me, which linked back to V, and I can't see, which link back to A, which are also all answers to Cassidy's questions.
He still talk to you, I can hear sounds. The party was for you, it was for me. What do you see? I can't see.
yeah, this was the other problem that I always had with the Evan theory was
Okay.
1, it broke its own logic, but 2, yes, some of the questions are very clearly related. The party was for you, it was for me. There is no
Yeah.
question, right? What do you see? I can't see. Those are very obvious. 1 for 1, question asked, question answered. Does he still talk to you? I can hear sounds. Always felt like a bit of a stretch. And then couple that with the last one, the last one, I'm scared, or whatever, which didn't have a clear counterpart. Like 2 of them work great. Again, I agree 100%. Party was for you, it was for me. Awesome. What did you see? I can't see. Awesome. Makes total sense. But then for the other, in a solution, in a name, Evan, that has 4 letters,
Right.
50% or 2 of the things sync up, and 2 of them are like, you kind of stretch it, or you kind of have to squint at it. That's the other side of it. If it had been like a 7-letter name and 5 of the things worked and 2 of them were a little bit stretchier, then yeah, maybe I'm like, okay, well, clearly this is what's going for, and they had to fudge it a little bit. But for it to be, you only have 4 letters you're dealing with, and 2 of them work and 2 of them don't work, it feels like how much of that is actually intentional, how much of that is just like, coincidentally, we came up with a grouping that just seemed to kind of work,
Yeah.
ignoring half of it.
I mean, this feels very tiered to me. Like, it's like, 1 is like easiest.
Yeah.
What do you see? I can't see. Okay. Very, like, question answer.
Yeah.
The party was for me. Party was for you. It was for you.
Yeah.
It was for me. Okay. Like, it's still very obviously connected, but it's like a level up.
Yeah.
And then, does he still talk to you? I can hear sounds.
So
You
you're
know,
thinking
it's
like,
like-
it's starting you off on easy mode and kind of
And
like
yeah, you elevate in your difficulty. So it still works, but it's different as you go along,
Yeah.
right? Because even I look at this top one, where
So this is starting to get a little much here. I did realize that I am out of water, so I need to take a short break. But I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, so like I said before, this feels a little much, like it's maybe a stretch, but it's I don't know.
yes, it is not as obviously connected as the bottom two,
Yeah.
but it's still like thematically connected in terms of like hearing
yes.
and perceiving.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Right. Which is then why the like I'm scared
Yeah.
felt like such a stretch.
Yeah, that's like master difficulty.
Yes, yeah, right. It's like sure, I guess I'm scared.
That's like maddening mode.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Insanity ending. Oh,
Whoa.
it's just a thing.
Lore.
Lore.
Questions all happen to come from the same end of night quizzes together, including I'm scared, also an answer to one of the questions. It would be weird for 3 of the scared, also an
Yeah.
answer to one of the
Do you have dreams? I'm scared. See, that's again, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm almost certain that the nightmare drawing is going to play some part in this.
Yeah.
Because that very much contextualizes dreams by very obviously having like the nightmare qualifier.
That
of
is
it.
interesting.
But, you know, it's still like, that's a very disconnected answer unless there is context to this conversation that we don't see.
Yeah, this is one of those answers that a kid gives you, and you're like, no, answer the question.
It's like, well,
do
what
you
do
have
you
dreams?
mean?
I'm scared. It's like, no, that's not what I asked you. Like, do you have dreams? That's a yes or no, man.
Yeah.
I still have dreams. Okay, good. Great.
Great.
Are they scary? I have scary dreams. Awesome.
Okay, cool. Now we're at point A to point B.
I have
All right.
nightmares.
Oh.
Right? There are many other ways. or like my nightmares are real, or something like any mention of dream or dream imagery, or like you said, the idea of sound and sound,
Right.
at least connect them somewhere. Dreams and scared do not match.
Yeah.
They like, if they're like lines going off to infinity, like eventually they might cross a little bit, but just barely.
Right? It's like, that's why I think the midpoint of Nightmare
Mm-hmm.
is like the very, very like obscured midpoint, if there was one. But
Right.
on the surface, this is like, whoa.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
It almost fits better to put "Do you have dreams?" with "I can hear sounds."
Maybe, right?
Like, yeah, they are like they almost feel interchangeable.
Right, but
to me,
right, but now all of a sudden
which is
you
a
get
bad
into-
thing.
Right, which is
Yeah.
a bad thing. Now
Yeah.
all of a sudden you're getting into that, like, well, how much are you actually just trying to find a solution that fits,
Yep.
Right.
as opposed to something that was meant to be,
Agreed.
right?
One of the questions. It would be weird for 3 of the only 4 answers to matter, right? So what happens when you use the page number of the question, 41, for 4 across on the first row in the Foxy grid? You get, D. Well, great, another failed attempt that literally just says Evad, which isn't a real
Well,
name,
I mean, that's-
right?
Evad.
Yes,
I mean,
right,
that's Dave.
that's not a real name. So I went
Yeah.
back through the
I mean, like,
Like-
Cassidy also didn't work, like, it was, you know,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
scramble.
It's backwards.
Yeah.
more hints, and I noticed that throughout the book, a certain word keeps coming up. After each night's work, we ask that you take a moment for self-reflection.
That is true. I did notice this. This is, I'm glad he's calling this out, because it is weird that self-reflect, like, oh, reflect on your things, reflect, self-reflection. Good call out. This is awesome. I had never thought about this, but there's a big page in here that's a mirror. Awesome.
Reflect on the things in life that you are most thankful for. Reflect on the happiest day of your life. Reflect on the meaning of your dreams. And a bunch more activities, all to do with reflecting on your life, looking back on things, a bunch of self-reflection quizzes, as well as a giant damn mirror, which is where Cassidy asks the crying child, "What do you see?" and is on the direct opposite page of where we solved Cassidy's name. But
Right? Again, which open up the whole dual process conversation and this and that, right?
Yeah.
So,
why am I bringing this up? Well, it got me thinking about the solution I got, and what happens when you put a word in a mirror reflection? It goes back to front, and the word is reversed.
Brilliant.
So what would happen when you put EVAD into a mirror? It turns into DAVE, Dave, the crying child's real name. These two
I just think of the name Dave as like an old 40-year-old guy at the grill.
Right.
It's like, Dave.
And accountant by day, dad on the weekend. You know,
He's watching football with his buds,
makes a mean burger.
Bob and Tom.
Oh man,
Right?
rooting for the Giants.
Oh,
know?
Dave is such a Giants fan.
Man, loved Eli Manning.
Oh, sometimes a Jets fan too. I could see Dave being a Jets fan.
Yeah, you know,
But
when the
definitely
Giants
New
aren't
York
involved.
sports.
Yeah, right. New York sports.
Dave loves
in
New
general.
York sports.
Yeah, it's Yankees.
Mets,
New Yorker
Yankees,
Dave.
Islanders, Rangers.
Yeah, Dave.
Dave's there.
Dave's there. He's
there.
at the function for sure.
Oh yeah.
Okay, all joking aside, yes, I like the potential solution here. I want to revisit it more closely, because we're going through this fairly quickly, and he's going through his explanation fairly quickly. So I'd want to like work through the steps on my own. That being said, the reflection of Dave, I think that's cool. That being said, I don't know if there's a specific order to the number. Maybe it's page numbers. Did he say why he put them in that specific order?
Like to the EVA.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that was.
Was
I
it
don't know if we
page-
got the specific breakdown of it. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's the chronological order of Cassidy's questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
was said.
that's one thing I would want to test out is why did he put the letters in the order of EVAD? Because that's pretty cool if it and then you reflect and it gives you Dave. But so far in this book, again, like we saw with the Cassidy grid, it doesn't give you CASSIDY. Like it gives you a bunch of letters and then you rearrange them to spell Cassidy, right?
So we're currently at 7:41 on here. If I remember that timestamp, can we go back to where we put in when the initial try on the Foxy grid
Yeah.
for the EVA.
EVA.
If we
early.
can see the page numbers, then it's like, okay.
to solve it. Anyways, it's been a whole year since I wrote that because that video turned extremely massive, and so I returned to the logbook recently. This time, I decided to do what I've done here and go back through the old solutions, seeing if we missed anything, and it always ticked me that the three letters E, V, and A seem to work perfectly fine, but then the fourth just doesn't. The method of using the pages that Cassidy asks questions
so-
fine, but then the fourth
Okay, hold
just
up.
doesn't.
So-
The method of using the
Page
pages
number-
that Cassidy
Does he still talk to you? Says, I can hear sounds. The party was for you. This is on page 103. Party
Yeah.
was for you.
that are the
And was your favorite childhood plastic purple telephone? What page is that? Was your favorite childhood toy a purple plastic telephone? Seems to be the first. So you have 23. Was your favorite childhood toy a plastic purple telephone? You have, whatever I said, 42? 43? 41.
Yeah, that's 41, which
Do you-
I think that's what he said.
Do you have dreams? What do you see on page 59? And then 75. Does he still talk to you? So, are we answering them in order?
Is it via the order of the answers on the actual page itself?
I mean, it could be.
Because it can't be the page.
It doesn't seem
Order.
like it doesn't seem like it's the page order. Okay, got it.
You got it?
It's
All right.
it's like the second to last page of the book.
Oh,
That's why I
Lovely.
kept missing it. Was because it's literally less. So I can hear sounds is first.
okay.
It was for me. I can't see. I'm scared. That's the order.
Oh, okay. Yes. So when Hyperdroid was showing us those, the top one, the answer was I can hear sounds,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was for me was the party one, and then below that was seeing.
Okay.
So it was in the order that these answers are shown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Heard chef.
So it is. It's E.
I just got scammed.
Oh, wow, really?
I got an email from my bank. It said I need.
V, A, and then potentially D. Okay. So
Heard. Great.
So the
Great.
order is in the order that the altered text answers are coming in.
Yes.
So that does check out. So the EVA blank is a valid way of doing it. So that's interesting. And that to me lends a lot of credence to the self-reflection. Because I like the call out of the self-reflection. That feels really good. I like where that's headed. It aligns with a lot of the clues that the book has been giving you up to that point. So yes, that makes sense. And the fact that we're given an order and that the order makes logical sense, that this was the first answer, this is the second answer, and then later in the book you got third and fourth letters, that tracks. So I feel good about that. I wish his name was David instead of Dave.
Right. I mean, maybe it was just a little nickname, you know.
Hey, Davey.
Hey,
or
Dave.
Davey.
I like Davey.
Right, Dave. Like
Little Davey.
something that feels a little bit more kiddish than Dave.
Right.
I'm Dave.
Dave is a very serious name.
It's a very serious name.
His name is
for-
Serious Dave.
He's a crying child. He's a very serious kid.
Very serious. I mean, you know, maybe these were a different time. Maybe
That's-
Dave was more kiddish back
That's
then.
true. And I'm assuming he's going to bring this up, but I would be remiss if I didn't call it out right now. Dave is a reference itself to Silver Eyes, where it is David...
Are you talking about Afton's?
Dave Miller.
Yes, Dave Miller.
Dave Miller. So in the Silver Eyes novel, before William Afton reveals himself to be William Afton, he goes by the name Dave Miller,
Mhm.
and Dave is his alias, right? And so with this being a franchise that reuses names a lot in different contexts, that would make sense. You know, there's been 500 Michaels. There's been, I guess, William Afton.
That's another problem I have was the reuse of names throughout the franchise. Because again, that just confuses everything. To have separate names for different characters in your franchise, that's to me is a must. So constantly referring back to these characters, you're like, oh no, Henry, or Henry, or it gets really confusing. And so having multiple names throughout the franchise, referring because it gets to the point where you're like, oh yeah, this character. Well, which one are you talking about? Is it this Dave or is it this Dave? Is it this Henry or this Henry? I think that's where it confuses most of these clues, most of these things throughout the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise is, yeah.
Afton and Henry are kind of same, and Charlie's largely the same, but like
Jeremy's.
But yeah, Jeremy and Michael are the names that have reappeared a lot of times in a lot of different contexts. And so for there to be another usage of Dave or Dave Miller, it's an interesting coincidence if nothing else, right?
Yeah.
We know that the franchise likes doing this. So, okay, Dave, take me away,
The
Hyperdroid.
crying child's real name. These 2 pages right next to each other give us the answers to both names and a full.
That's a good point. I like that.
The spread. Name spread.
That's a good. It is a good call out. It's a very good call out because it's in the middle of the book. It is the big solve of the book. The self-reflection thing. What do you see? Has always driven me nuts, and I know that there's a lot of attempts to be like, oh, the mirror reflects onto the. Because right, it feels so intentional.
Right? It's like, why else would there be, like, I get it. What do you see? And there's a mirror because you're supposed to look in the mirror, but it's still such a weird choice
Yeah,
for something like this.
this is good. This more than anything else, that hits hard. The last answer has to be reflected, and there's the mirror reflection, and it's right next to Cassidy, and they're both there together talking to each other. That hits hard.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Good stuff.
I will say it drives me nuts that the thing that you have to self-reflect is a 4-letter name, which is not very hard to figure out. Like,
Yeah.
make sure you pull out a mirror, boys and girls, to figure out what EVAD backwards is.
You're gonna have to really go in for this one.
Yeah, like if it was Cassidy, it's like, okay, that's a long name. It's a bit more of an unusual name. Reflecting it makes sense. But Dave.
Dave.
It's like, okay. Did we really need the last step? But no, I think this is a really good call out. And from a structural building of the lore standpoint, building of a puzzle standpoint, that feels right. That's cool. I'm compelled by this.
Conversation. Who are you? It's me, Cassidy. What is your name? What do you see? Dave. All of the questions Crying Child later answers have bloodstains on them. All of the answers come from the same end of night quizzes.
All the answers that have
Cassidy, what is your name? What do you see? Dave. All of the questions Crying Child later answers have bloodstains on them.
That's it. So that's another. I feel like that's actually a big point that you would probably want to focus in on.
Oh.
I will say there are bloodstains everywhere. Like again, hi audience, when you're listening to us theorists, like we are presenting you with very limited viewpoints into a book that has 100 pages that you might not have seen, right?
Yeah.
So it's important for you to get context that the book is full of bloodstains. Like there is bloodstains like on page 15, on page 16, on page 20. Like it is just a detail of the whole thing, right?
But decidedly, well, is that red ink? No, that's coffee. Okay.
Yeah,
In
I
my
think that's
mind,
right.
it's coffee.
I think that's meant to be coffee. What's your favorite childhood toy of plastic purple telephone?
No blood. No blood on that not answered page.
It's true. Do you remember your name? No blood.
No blood.
No blood. No blood.
No blood.
My name has blood, but that's also Cassidy's.
My name has blood.
It's fine.
That's a killer bar.
Do you have dreams? It has blood on it.
Yeah, Red
Yeah,
Blue,
it
Nightmare.
does.
Nightmare got it.
All right. Do any of these toys look familiar to you? It has like a light split. So, do any of these toys look familiar to you? Which is one of the ones that does not get an answer. Has like a light splattering, like a very light spludging,
Yeah.
and that's not coffee. And it matches
That
kind of the bloodstains on this page, I will say. Because again, it sounds good and it sounds compelling, but I want to double check a lot of this stuff because again, was your favorite ride you would say was your favorite ride the carousel?
Mm-hmm.
That one does not have blood except for like a very teeny splash.
Yeah, they have specks.
Little specks.
No, not stains, but specks.
Yeah, tis a speck. What do you see? That one has blood.
Yeah. I will say the stains are pronounced and typically at like the edges, like
Yeah.
the borders of the page, which does feel very distinct.
Yeah, you coming in, Ash, as someone who was not around for this era, it's good to get your viewpoint on this
Yeah.
because I've looked at this book a bunch of times, and so I know a lot of this. But it's interesting to get your perspective as someone who's like, "Oh, I'm seeing this firsthand for like the first major time."
Yeah, like I've kind of flipped through this towards the beginning of my theorist tenure, but you know, I didn't have a lot of context, well, word of the day, around the book, so it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So it's cool to go in now after watching so many theories
So many.
and getting the clues.
I will say, is this song familiar to you? Which is one that does not get an answer.
Oh yeah, you could see up there.
Yeah, page 83. It does not get an answer. Has a big blood stain on it. So I do want to call that one out,
Can I
right?
see that bloodstain? Okay.
It matches basically the Do You Have Dreams bloodstain. in a lot of
Yeah,
ways.
it's
just a
the
different
same.
corner.
Because like the others seemed kind of washed out.
Mhm.
Like it's a lighter blood. Like an active attempt was made to get that blood out.
Out, damn spot. Yeah.
Out, I say. So the Do You Have Dreams one, that very much, it kind of breaks the mold a little bit.
Yeah. Again, it's one of those where if anyone has this book, and myself included, I'll go back and double check a lot of this stuff. But just from a very quick cursory glance at it, the blood stain as proof might not be as strong or solid as it initially sounds, just by the nature of, you know, us presenting you with, you know, a segment of information, but not having access to the whole book.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. Bless us all.
C. Dave. All of the questions Crying Child later answers have bloodstains on them. All of the answers come from the same end of night quizzes. All of the reflection stuff hints at reflecting something, and the two names are both solved directly next to each other.
Like
Yeah.
To me,
that
this
that
seems
feels
pretty solid.
real good.
Unlike Evan, this code doesn't break the method for the final letter, and actually
It's also worth noting that Evan, one of the reasons why people really liked Evan was one of the kids in the short stories that felt like he could be layered in at some point. Like
Okay.
that his story was roughly approximate to the story of the story in the books, or sorry, the story in the games, Crying Child in the games.
Yeah, he
And so
got
they're-
chomped on?
He didn't get chomped on. What is it? I forget the specifics of it. Evan Fazbear, I think it was Fazbear Frights.
The real Jake.
Yeah, Evan was the husband of Roxanne and father of it was Jake's. So Jake is basically the stand-in for Crying Child in the books, or in the Fazbear Frights, roughly. And Evan was his dad. So around this time, or like as people were always thinking about it, they're like, oh well, this is the Crying Child story. Jake doesn't really fit, but Evan kind of fits with the security logbook. Maybe his name's Evan, which was another point in reference to like, oh, Evan is the Crying Child's name. Just calling it
Okay,
out there.
okay.
That's where the thought process went.
Will the real Jake please stand up?
Right.
remains consistent for each, making use of the final answer we get from the Crying Child that was seemingly responding to nothing, and it also makes use of the constant reminding to reflect throughout the book. I know some will have an issue with I'm scared being an answer for Do You Still Have Dreams?
Yeah.
But the fact that it's specifically above the image of Nightmare,
Sure.
which Mike himself categorizes here under a dream, and the fact that none of the other questions are even somewhat possible to be the question he's responding to.
It is true. None of the other I'm scared. One of the reasons why I'm scared has been so frustrating as the final altered text and the final answer is because he's right here. None of the questions relate to I'm scared. So, do you still have dreams? Is probably the closest that you get to, right?
Yeah.
Unless it's like, does he still talk to you? I'm scared because
scared
he's
of that
kind of a
guy.
he's kind of a murderer.
It seems to be the right one. But wait, haven't we heard the name Dave somewhere else before?
Ah, there it is.
Yes, we have. Multiple times, actually.
Indeed.
Going release order and in the Silver Eyes, a book which was released directly after FNAF 4. William Afton uses a disguise to hide from the public that he's
sweating heavily. Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
the public that he's the same guy. This disguise being Dave Miller.
Yep.
But why did he pick Dave? Well, we actually learn in the Silver
Big Giants fan.
Big Giants fan.
New York sports, all about it.
We'll go to the Jets if necessary, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
That something other than the murders happened at Fredbear's family diner. Quote, they were together, just the two of them, and it must have been before everything, before Fredbear's went wrong, before anyone was dead. Then throughout the series, we're reminded that the murders all happened at Freddy's. Whatever happened at Fredbear's was a separate event that was bad, and bad enough to cause the location to close down. To me, this pretty clearly sounds like the big buy also happened in this timeline. So if the crying child's name is truly Dave, this would then mean that William was literally using his dead son's name to disguise himself. That's insane.
Worst father ever winner.
Right? Worst father ever winner. I like it. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. In this case, I wouldn't necessarily say like this is what circumstantial evidence, if that. It's more just like fun coincidences if this works out, right? It's not so much evidence for it. It's more just like, hey, this franchise reuses names a bunch, and there's an interesting narrative satisfaction to Dave Miller being a reference to Dave the dead kid. So, like, hey, if the dominoes line up, this is a really cool way that it all pays off. But not necessarily evidence.
Oh yeah, and if you want to hear about narrative satisfaction within the realm of FNAF, be sure to check out the Rye Toast ID and Map Pack collab reaction coming soon.
Oh wow.
Thank you.
Good shameless promo there.
Yeah, thank you.
When's that one coming up, Ash?
This one is going that day, and so probably like a week and some change from when you're watching this, if you're watching this the day of release, that is.
There you go.
If you believe that Mike is under the alias of Fritz in FNAF 2, being fired for the same reasons as Mike in FNAF 1, and that he's indeed the guard at the time, then that's another Afton who uses a dead person's name as their alias, like father.
Elias. Alias? It's fine. Elias. That's another name. Maybe he goes by Elias this whole time.
Elias. That sounds like a YA book, like protagonist. My name's Elias. I'm 16. One of my eyes is silver and the other is bronze. And I am not like other kids.
Oh no, this guy is the chosen one.
He is.
Oh, he's gonna save the world with his special magical powers.
He is.
Yeah, it's like a character from an Animorphs back in the day. Like, I'm Elias and I can turn into a hawk. Whatever happened to Animorphs? That was a weird series that existed.
That's a great question, dude.
Right, when we're talking about revamping old IP that was beloved by kids and milking it dry, Animorphs got left on the cutting room floor.
It sure did. It was a staple of every single 6th grade classroom book collection.
Holy cow. And the covers were awesome because he had like the kids' faces evolving into whatever animal they were.
I have read so many Animorphs.
Did you
They were awesome.
Yeah, were they?
The covers were great hooks.
Look, I mean, they were. I was so intrigued. I was so hooked on Goosebumps and stuff at the time that I never like dove into them. But it was one of those where, look at this. Look at how unhinged that cover is. That's incredible.
It's really just like a child doing this and then butterfly
right?
mode.
Look at these. Like, it's amazing. If that doesn't get you to, if this alien,
that's crazy.
If this alien boy transforming into a raccoon doesn't make you want to read this book.
Oh my gosh, was the number 52? Did that say issue 52?
This is probably, what, this one?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, this is probably a grand finale because you're seeing the aliens. Before that, it was kids. Look at this kid transforming.
Like, that's just some kid, and he's like...
They just slowly lower the opacity on one image and raise it on the other.
I love it so much. Oh, they're so funny. These covers are wild. Unreal.
The poses are awesome.
Right? It's like, how do we manipulate the silhouette of this kid to somehow vaguely resemble an animal that we're gonna contort him into?
I love that in the mid phases, this looks like it's gonna be like a meerkat, and then it's like, surprise, cobra!
Right, right around here it starts to look almost like a chimpanzee or monkey. Then here, yeah, you're getting into lemur or meerkat.
Right.
And then it's like, nope, it was a snake the whole time.
There you go. There you go.
I also like, going back to the butterfly, it's like, what if her arms weren't out like this?
Right, and she was just like
this.
doing more of the...
That's the pose she needs to hit to turn into a butterfly.
That's what it is, right? Your pose determines what animal you become.
Ow.
This one, it's like, I'm strong and brave.
and then I'm gonna lean over a little bit, and then all fours, and I'm a dog.
It's, oh, my back! Oh, I'm being contorted.
ah,
It's supposed to be a horrific transformation process. I saw American Werewolf in Paris the other day, which has a fantastic. It's known for its transformation scene. It's an incredible transformation scene. Not for the faint of heart movie. It's a bit mature. And by that I mean very mature. But it's one of those things where the transformation scene is amazing. It's all practical effects. It is the coolest wolf transformation you'll see.
Whoa.
It's wild. Anyway, like father, like son. Animorphs.
Animorphs.
Like son. Also, in the Tales from the Peterplex story The Mimic, there's a kid named David.
I like that nowadays in FNAF 2024, you cannot do a FNAF episode without mentioning the Mimic.
No.
You just can't.
It's a staple.
It's like someone saying theory and me having to say a game theory. It's like, oh, FNAF, the Mimic. Oh, don't forget about the Mimic.
Compulsive,
Yeah.
contractual.
Right, it's a reflective action of, oh my gosh.
Like son. Also, in the Tales from the Peterplex story The Mimic, there's a kid named David, the son of someone who works on the animatronics, who just happens to carry around a plush toy everywhere he goes.
What is that? It's cute.
That is true. So this is meant to be Tiger Rock, basically. This is like the white tiger thing.
Right. Our Elvis stand-in.
Yeah, exactly, the
Yeah.
Elvis stand. Yep. This is a good call out. So the fact that it's it's a good call out because again, in this idea of like the franchise reuses important names in important stories or places, this is another reuse of Dave in an important story. So yeah, this is actually a great call out.
To the point that the Mimic continued to mimic it even after his death.
Yep.
Look, I'm not saying he's a crying child stand-in, but could possibly be a narrative parallel.
Narrative parallel. It's true. That's a great call out because exactly to his point. And even when I read that story, I'm like, it was weird that there were so many crying child references to that moment. And yeah, the fact that he's walking around and sneaking, that's
Also in
good.
the FNAF movie, there's a drawing of a kid named David whose mum is holding a party balloon. This being the only drawing on this wall to actually have a name for the child who drew it.
Huh.
That's interesting.
Huh.
That's really interesting.
Huh.
Wow.
That's very compelling. That's really interesting.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Named David, showing up in a lot of places. That's really...
Also in the FNAF movie, there's a drawing of a kid named David whose mum is holding a party balloon. This being the only drawing on this wall to actually have a name for the child who drew it.
That's huge.
That is a frame-by-frame discovery.
That's huge.
Wow.
Yeah. That's really suspicious.
The funny thing about this is that after I actually went ahead and did the simple thing of searching for FNAF Logbook Dave, I found out that I'm not actually the first person to get this answer. I know, I'm shocked too. I 100% swear on everything that I got to the solution on my own. And literally up until this very point in the script, I thought I was the only one who got Dave.
Yep.
But it turns out that it was pointed out as a possibility years ago.
Whoa.
Oh man, on our subreddit. Oh, we were sleeping on it.
Ecstatic Marzipan 7.
Oh, Ecstatic Marzipan 7. I'm so sorry 3 years ago. Oh man,
gotta pull that up.
justice for Ecstatic Marzipan. Okay, so we found it.
Woo!
Good job. Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Good searching.
Thank you.
Another theory about Crying Child from the FNAF Survival Logbook. I'm new to the summit, honestly new to ARGs. I'm sort of obsessively rewatched Matt Pat's FNAF videos. Got me intrigued about the logbook. I have some thoughts and questions. Crying Child's name is Dave. I searched the sub and saw that this theory was actually... I like it. I searched the sub and saw that this theory was actually suggested by Oroxygen's TTV. So,
Wow.
Gotta find that one.
There's a whole crew of people who've gotten this.
Right, this was solved 10 years ago.
You had to name the whole time.
I had some debate sprinkled in, so really I'd like to add some evidence. Here it goes. Most of the pages that can solve for N and Evan don't really line up with what the altered text says, but page 41 asking to reflect on recent dreams, showing a drawing of Nightmare Freddy, seems like it was a great fit. I'm scared. So basically the same idea, right? This fits the pattern of the other letters and ends up with the spelling EVAD. Celophated's messages are on pages about reflected or reflections. The page that solves for D asks us to reflect, and the page showing a mirror is directly opposite the word search. Yep, and there you go. Yeah, I mean, so it is, there it is.
Boom.
Well
Easy.
done. Well done. Clap and a half.
Do the 4 statements about reflecting each refer to one of the things? Because, like, I see reflect on the meaning of your dreams. Seems like it could reference the question about dreams. Reflect on the happiest day of your life. Seems like it could refer to was the party for you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what the other 2 are. Does he still talk to you? And whatever the other question was.
Yeah.
Like, that could be just another kind of home run link up of those things. But I'm the mirror. I don't know that connects. And the things in life that you are most thankful for.
Yep. It's interesting, right? So page 23, reflect on the things in your life, also has the question, was your favorite childhood toy a purple plastic telephone? So it's one of the questions that doesn't get answered from the ghostly text. 31, reflect on the happiest day of your life, has another question, do you remember your name? One of the ones that goes unanswered largely. Page 40 and 41, reflect on the meaning of your dreams. That's just the Nightmare Fredbear page that we keep going back to.
Right.
But and that one technically does have an answer. But it is interesting that the pages with questions also have reflection as a common theme. 59, the drawing of the mirror, and is what do you see? So it's really good. It's really, really compelling. I am into this theory. This is really solid. Okay, so we found it by Eclectic Mars.
People assumed that it meant the whole method was debunked, when no, it was just the final letter. All in all, I believe the word hidden in the Foxy grid is Avad, which gets reflected into Dave, making the crying child's name Dave Afton, or David, depending if Dave is a nickname.
Sure.
Like Game Theory used to do, getting some real-world facts into this, and Dave was actually quite a popular name back when he would have been born. Being
yeah, he's getting in the game. Oh, I'm proud.
Charted as the 3rd to 5th most popular male baby name between 1970 and 1980. The name Dave or David also means beloved, which, considering most assume Mike's whole character arc starts from the regret of killing his brother in the games, and the movie goes out of its way to show how much he cares about his brother, it would make sense that he's beloved.
I would actually argue similar but related.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, in terms of William Afton's thoughts about the crying child, right? Especially in dual process theory, I feel like we hear a lot about how William Afton feels about crying child, how that's very much a motivation for a lot of what he does, and of course, you know, missing our little boy CC. So in that sense, the name Beloved actually makes a lot of sense. But my first thought would be William before Michael, but I do think Michael also makes sense.
Yes, I 100% agree. That's exactly what I was going to say. The fact that, I mean, even the final lines of FNAF 4, right, to Crying Child is I will put you back together, which at this point is basically confirmed or generally accepted to be William Afton's final words to his son who is dying.
Yeah.
Is that idea of like, oh, William Afton, terrible guy, awful murderer, disgusting creepo, whatever, and mistreats everyone, but does have an affection for this kid.
Right.
And is probably the closest thing to love that he feels, you know, like he loves his daughter, she gets killed. He loves his son, he gets killed. Like his love is a toxic love, but it's a love nonetheless, and so it being beloved makes a lot of sense.
Speaking of the movie,
That's great.
some
I
people
love
claim
that.
the crying child's name is Garrett, which is his name in the movie. However, I don't think this is the case. Also, in the same movie, William uses a different alias, Steve Raglan, instead of his pre-existing and canon alias, Dave Miller. Even in the novel trilogy, the name of Golden Freddy's spirit is a kid named Michael. Yes, Michael. And a kid named Jeremy doesn't even exist.
Oh,
Yes, go for it.
So another thing to the Dave Miller point, right?
Yeah.
If we want to connect Beloved to William Afton's feelings about it,
Yeah.
if he took on the moniker Dave as like his alias, Elias, whatever, you know,
However you pronounce it.
however you pronounce it, it's still the word and we know what you mean, all is good. Then I feel like that is also one of those like narrative satisfaction things where it's like it's taking this name that has a lot of emotional charge in it and then putting that on as a disguise, which I like a lot.
Yeah, no, that does work. From a narrative standpoint, that's very satisfying.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Continuities, they have things all over the place, yes, even names.
Yeah, that's-
So I personally just do not think that
Okay, so this is
Garrett
just
has to be the
debunking a
crying
bunch of other
child's
stuff.
real name, whether it's actually Dave like I'm suggesting or not.
Sure.
Now only one mystery remains.
One mystery.
The tally mark.
Hey! Oh, get into the tallies. Oh, okay.
I remembered that all of the tallies put together equal to 39.
Sure.
And I've come to the conclusion, despite how it may be disappointing to some, that the whole point of them may have actually been to lead us back to page 39 itself, thinking we'll get a secret, which would then lead you to realize, oh wait, there's actually 2 page 39s here, and then you'd begin the Cassidy search. This seems like a cop-out though, right? Well, do 39s
So,
here,
39.
and then you
239?
So, oh yeah, because one of the ways that they altered the numbers or give you number clues is by changing the page numbers.
Right.
And so, yeah, there's 2 39s.
That is altered.
Huh. Okay.
We'd begin the Cassidy search.
Sure.
This seems like a cop-out though, right? Well, do remember that the search for Cassidy only started due to the ABC found on the Foxy grid, which also remember, didn't even end up being used for Cassidy's name at all anyways. Meaning there'd have to be another way to get a hint that we're meant to investigate these random numbers to get a whole other name that's got nothing to do with the Foxy grid and the solution for that. Also notice how this page 39 happens to be the page which features the gravestone with
That's interesting. The fact that it points you to the page with the gravestone or a page with the number of the gravestone, that's fair. I could see that. They could be just like making sure that people saw it in the most obtuse way possible. They're like, hey, here's a lot of very obvious images and faded text and altered text throughout this entire book, but let's also throw in a couple tally marks so that way people add them up and it leads them back to one of those very obvious pages.
Yeah, I feel like this feels very intuitive now, right?
Yeah.
Where we've all very much been in the weeds with FNAF and like, okay, we can delineate like the red from the faded from the altered, right?
Yeah.
These are all separate voices, we understand that. But maybe within the context of when this book came out, Scott wanted to provide an extra launching point for people to get into it, right? And I feel like a tally mark is so distinct in what it is that this feels very feasible for me.
Yeah, I don't hate it, honestly. Like, it's not particularly satisfying. It's not anything big, but I also, I see how that would make sense.
Right.
Yeah, I think in the end, one of the things that, again, when you're solving puzzles, it's tricky because you want to give enough clues in there that people get it.
Right.
And that they're like, oh, I feel confident in my ability to solve this or know that the puzzle exists and be led in the right direction. But you don't want to give so many that you end up with a lot of extraneous parts or redundant information. And so in this case, it could just be that the tally marks were redundant information that we were able to solve without it. Like we were talking about earlier, when you jump ahead at solving something without needing every step of the process.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what it is. I'm fine with that though. Like if this is what those tally marks were meant to be, makes sense. It's cool.
It's just unsatisfying after all the work to try to figure it out, right?
But if that's the thing that's left on the cutting room floor and we solved everything else, I'm satisfied.
With my name on it, connecting to the 5th kid instead of the crying child, which also happens to be the first mention in the logbook that we're searching for their name too.
That's interesting.
Also happens to be about moving forward instead of reflecting back like we're told all throughout this book, further showing it's different to the other name. If the tally equal to anything else,
that's a good call out. The fact that you have one set of clues that are like reflect back and one that's like, hey, jump forward.
39, I wouldn't believe this for a second, like you probably don't. But since literally all of the tallies are groups of 5 besides a single one, just to make the number 39 instead of 40, honestly makes me think this conclusion isn't too far-fetched.
Sure.
Also, with that in mind, notice how there's only 7 sets of the 5 tallies, and Cassidy's name happens to be 7 letters long. So maybe, just maybe, the tallies were actually the real way we were meant to notice that some of the numbers had actual significance. Being how we were meant to start the hunt for her name specifically. This would then unfortunately mean that the 2 hardest puzzles in FNAF history were actually quite simple instead. Just connecting the final crying child answer to a Cassidy question
That's usually how it is.
like the rest were already doing, and simply reversing it for the crying child's name like it hints to do, and then the tallies being how we figured out we could get Cassidy's name via the other random numbers in the book, just like the one it redirects us to. Oh my god. Also, because besides that, honestly, assumption, I really don't know what else the tallies could be for, nor what they'd even reveal. Who knows? One day I might come back with I solved FNAF's biggest mystery again. But for now,
don't worry. You'll do that regardless of whether there are tally marks or not, my friend. Guaranteed, at some point, you will solve FNAF's biggest mystery again, whether they are tally marks or no. So yeah, that is just a fate sealed in the stars. I gotta say, I'm pretty convinced.
You got it? You think you're locked into this?
I'm pretty convinced.
All right.
I like that. Well, Evan, I was never convinced of, and I caught a lot of flack from people. Actually, people really wanted Evan to work, and so when I refused to call the crying child Evan in our videos, because I was very specific, I'm like, I don't want to call him that because I don't want people to get the wrong impression of this.
Right.
Because I know that we are the source of FNAF information for a lot of people, and so I don't want to like prematurely seed things in for them. This is good.
Right?
That coupled with the movie evidence, coupled with the callbacks to Dave Miller, coupled with some of the other stuff.
Ooh.
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, coupled with the Tales from the Pizzaplex stuff was the other one, which that's very compelling to me and always stuck out to me when I read that story of that feels intentional. All this feels... If I were Tom and I was writing FNAF theories, I would probably at this point feel confident calling Crying Child Dave.
Wow.
That's how good this is.
Also, I guess that wouldn't be a Tom thing more so than a Lee thing. But these freaking drawings in the FNAF movie, man.
Yeah.
First it was FNAF with the pasted on face on top of the rest of it, and now there's a David drawing.
Yep.
Like, these things have strong lore implications.
100%.
Like, we need to do a deep dive of these pages, man.
I remember when the first trailers came out and we were like really picking over the images in the trailers of it. And then, you know, just by the sake of where life went, we never went back and redid them again for the theories. But yeah, that's it.
Wow.
Huge. Yeah, the movie, man. Go to the movie to answer the questions. So here's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
I'm not drop kicking this out of frustration or of annoyance that it wasted so much of our time. I'm drop kicking it because I think it's done now.
Oh, whoa.
This is it.
Whoa.
It's gone. Boom. Oh, jeez. I definitely shattered a light almost. Oh,
my God. It hit, there is like a circle on top of the covering we have for this light bulb. It hit directly in the center. Bullseye.
Oh, no.
It's fine.
It is okay. Oh, thank goodness.
Do you want to do it again?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's do. I mean, that was so satisfying, though.
Go for it.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that light's okay.
Okay.
Sam is preparing the light. Here we go. Ready? Drop kick this. Ready? Boom.
Ooh. Oh, I should have doubled it. I could have rallied you.
Okay, rally.
Yeah.
Here we go. Ready? Oh God.
Oh. Oh my God.
Maybe we don't drop kick a book in the middle of a room full of camera equipment and lights. Maybe that's the moral of today's story here, friends.
Towards the curtain. Wow, wait.
Well, if I do it towards the curtain, I'm aiming at a giant TV screen and computer equipment and the camera.
Adjust your position to find an opening, right? There's an axis you're not utilizing. Move along the grid, Matthew.
Here, I'm not good at grids, Ash. The last 6 years of this damn book should have showed you that I'm not good at grids,
Oh
okay?
my God, we're freehanding it.
Okay,
oh
we're
my God,
freehanding it. Ready? Here we go. Ready?
Okay.
Since Ash insists that here's an angle, straight toward the back. Here it is. There. It's gone. It's done. End it. It's ended once and for all.
Oh my God.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh my God.
with that, Hyperdroid has indeed solved FNAF's biggest mystery, and I can rest and retire as a happy man because the Foxy Grid has been solved. Boom, done. We solved it, Scott. You didn't tell me the answer. Hyperdroid did it. I'm glad the FNAF community came through.
Yeah. Wow.
Well done. Don't try drop kicking books without shoes on. It can hurt your feet.
Oh, are you okay?
It was a hardcover book, and I felt it.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of that is a stretch. I feel like the name and just how they got the name Dave is a stretch. Like the whole, like I said earlier, there is so much to this franchise that I believe is heavily influenced by the fans. And everything up to this point is muddled. I feel like the point where Scott Cawthon had lost the story was most likely the second or even the third game in the franchise. Because so much he posted, he's just like, well, I'm going to try and clarify things. There's some things that have been misconstrued. There were things that I liked when it came to certain parts of the story. And I just feel like a lot of that was taken out of context and I believe that the entire Five Nights at Freddy's story is just it's lost its way. It's I don't know. A lot of this is just way too nitpicky, and there's just too many people, too many cooks are working on trying to solve these stories, these mysteries within the story. I believe everybody ends up influencing everybody at one point or another, and yeah, it's just too much of the story. The original story is just gone. It's just how I feel about it. All right. Well, that was a pretty long video. There was a lot of good points there, but again, it's just too much, too many people working on these things, and yeah. All right. I need to take another break, but I have something set up. I will play on stream. So I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Thank you for waiting. We have a game tonight. It is called Grimhook. Never played it before. I've had it on my library for quite a while now. And the game looks like you traverse mainly with the hook. So it looked really interesting. It looks like this kind of HP Lovecraft styled power that this character has. So yeah, I wanted to check this out. Let me see. So that should be right. At least. Oh no, it's not automatic. Is it not? Let me see here. Something. Huh. So it doesn't seem to be specific window. Same type. Um. Hmm. Grimhook. Grimhook. Where is it? Yeah, it's just not like. Oh, there it is. Right. Yeah. Right. So. Oh, it's not even coming up here. It's a little strange. Auto. Yeah. So that. Yeah, there we go. It should automatically set up there. I don't know why that's like a little broken. Hmm. Yeah, it's just a little broken there. Who knows? That is so weird. All right, cool. We're getting. Yeah, we're getting audio there. It's just not much. All right. That seems fine. Let's play. Now, if it runs a little rough, then I'll probably have to turn down the settings here.
Did I make it?
Yep, it's running a
Where's my
little.
ship? No! What happened to you?
Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna have to change the settings just a little bit. Let's turn that down to medium. See how that works. Nope. Oh, that's better. Okay. That's a little bit better. Ooh. What's this?
I'll rebuild you one day, old friend. But until then, I'll always have this piece of you.
Right? Wait. That's a modern day tarp. Oh yeah, so I would guess. Oh, how strange. Wait, there's a bridge? It looks like. Oh, what's this way?
No way. Is that the seawall? What happened while I was gone?
Seawall?
The water's probably only gotten worse since I left. I gotta get into the city.
Is there like a sprint? Nope. So we got. Oh, Bach. Hold on here. I probably can adjust this a little bit. Let's see here. Settings. Wait. All right. I should be able. Yeah. There we go. I should be able to change that. Let's see here. Yeah, that seems fine. At least. Yeah, that's a little bit better.
I used to mess around with Philip in old caves like this. Where are all the workers that used to scold us? Why is everything so empty?
Ah! Oh man. Actually kind of scared me there.
Not again. My head.
Ooh. Like some kind of cavern.
Yes, my child. You're safe now.
Oh.
Is this stone talking to me? No, no way.
Wait, is that supposed to be... Let's see here. Maybe that's tied to...
Must have my... Oh my god.
Listen to me, Darkness.
What?
You won't get out of this cave without my help. The way forward is up those rocks.
Oh, hold on. I might need to just like close this one out. Yes, close that out. One moment, please. Oh, yep, there we go. One moment while I change things here. I'm just changing the software that I'm using. There we go. There we go. Oh man, why did it change this? I hate that. I hate it. There. So that should be a little bit better. Yeah.
Whatever you say, creepy pebble lady.
My name is Kaya Talia, and you aren't soon
I wonder, can I push this even more? Can I put this on epic? No, I cannot. Put it on high, and that's just about it. Yep. There we go. That works a little bit better.
forget it.
Yep, high is like the double jump. Whoa.
Are you doing this?
Yes,
We had the same reaction. That's
strength
pretty
may
funny.
be limited, but there's
Whoa.
still so much more I can do.
That is so weird. Ooh, what do we
Yeah,
have here?
Any ideas? There
Debris.
isn't a way across this ravine.
Hardly. Just relax. Let my power course through you.
Ooh. Okay, look at the ground to press double jump to launch yourself. Ooh.
There will be no
Whoa.
obstacle we can't overcome. Especially once
Whoa.
we have the relic dagger. It's somewhere in this cavern. And we have
Whoa.
to find it to harness more of my power.
Whoa, that's cool. Oh, there's a rubber duck down there. I wonder if that's like a collectible or something. You have to go back for the duck. You know that, right? You just have to. You have to go back for the duck. Oh man. Ew. Ew. Oh, there we go. That's cool. Uh-oh. Oh man. Oh, hey, made it.
Gap. You'll need to conserve your momentum.
Launch off the
for this.
surface without landing to maintain your momentum. Ooh.
You make it sound easy.
Ooh, jeez. So launch off the surface without losing your momentum. Okay, okay. Oh,
Whoa,
hey.
that was amazing.
That actually worked.
Yes.
That was pretty cool.
It's so freeing to soar through the air once again. I'd forgotten how good it feels to have a vessel.
Is that the term for this situation? Am I a vessel now?
Just
Oh no,
finally.
duck.
Once we reach the city, I'm sure there will be a proper vessel
Wait.
waiting for me.
Yeah, there was like a rubber duck or something back there, I think. Oh no. Ah. Dang it. Ow. It totally screwed that up. Damn it. Oh no, we made it.
I have an idea for this next part.
Hey.
Do you think you can help me?
Of course. I'm not sure what you have in mind.
Wall run.
But my power is yours.
Run on walls to cross the gap and build speed. Okay.
Hey, Kaya? How did
Ooh,
you know
cool.
my name
Made it.
earlier?
Please, Darkness. I'm the patron god of Militos. I forged this entire island from ash. How are you so unfamiliar with me?
You did?
Hey.
Why haven't I heard of you before?
I'm not sure.
Oh,
I
that's
hope
awesome.
This ignorance is not shared by the rest of my children.
Ooh, do we go that way or this way? I mean, it looks like we can go that way. Is there anything? Nope, we can't go that way. Oh. Oh, cool. Cool. Oh no. Hey, made it. Nice. Hi. Oh man. So I need to, yeah, jump off. It looks like he just like automatically
Listen.
runs.
You need to
And it
use
doesn't look like
everything I
there's like
taught you until
fall
now.
damage or
I
anything.
can sense the relic just up ahead. I
Cool.
know you can do this.
This way? Ooh. We're given multiple paths here. Oh, there's something back here. Oh man. Wait. It's like, oh, we're back here. No, wait. That's something. Was it not this one? Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I think it was. Yeah, it was those mushrooms I saw. Okay. Hi. Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna make it. Oh no! Ooh. Almost didn't make it there. Hi. Is that something I can actually make? Oh. So strange. Okay, so I can go that way if I want. Might be easier. Yeah. Oh, whoa. Can we... I want to try something here. Ooh. Cool. Oh. So the water, we are stopped by the water. Gotcha. Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh. You'll excuse me if I'm not talking so much with this. Ooh. So once we land, it looks like we have a chance for like a continuous. So. Ah, what? We were pushed down. Weird. Ooh. Cool. Yeah, I mean, it looks like we only have one way to go, even if we do decide. Aw, man. Oh. I'm just not getting it. Eh. Okay.
Nowhere to go but down.
What?
There it is. The relic dagger. I knew I sensed it.
Cool. What, we got another piece of
You
this?
mean this old thing? I can see the relic in it, but the dagger part looks like it's about to snap off. Okay.
So it has. How frustrating. Forging a new relic takes years. And here I thought I was through with waiting.
Hold on a second, Kaya. Let me try this.
Please, Dart, something crude like that. I feel it. My power, it's returning.
I think it looks pretty good.
Hmm. Hi. Oh, wait. There was something back there, it looked like. Ooh, what's down here? Hey, another duck. Yeah. Like I said, you gotta go for it. Oh, that's cool. Oh, what's this way? It's like, oh, it just brings me back here. Nice. Oh, dang. The city.
Whoa, take a look at that. We're under the seawall. Or at least what used to be.
What could have caused this?
An
I
earthquake?
don't know, but this is a disaster for the city.
I mean,
The seawall kept the corrosive water at bay.
corrosive water.
My island. What has become of it?
So it's all acid? Question mark? Whoa. So I'm guessing, I mean, more than likely there was like an earthquake that caused like a sinkhole, and this was like all here previously. And there was just like a matter of time before everything just gave way, it looks like. So are we headed over there, or is that something else? I mean, there's like grapple points there. There's lights hanging there. And then there's like a wall run. But that might be for something later, right? I'm guessing. Oh, that's cool. I really like that. Yeah, so can we... Oh, no, yeah, we're going up and around, and we're gonna have to grapple. I said we're going up and around there, making our way there. So when we get there, we'll have to wall run off, grapple, yeah, and then make our way. We'll have to make our way. Oh man, it's all like ruined. Dang.
What is this abhorrence? It disgusts me to be near it, and the stench.
Okay, I kind of wish that would be a checkpoint, not back there. Oh no! Okay, so we got a wall run off. So that way. Ah! No! Ah, we hit the water. Dang it. Well, that's dumb. A little finicky. Ah! I'm stuck. I guess just go back. And go back and get like a better angle at this. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it was just a better angle that we needed. Leap. Let me see. Press space to leap off of objects and enemies. When grappling, use movement to control. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh man. Okay. Yeah. Make it. Dang it. So there's like a, what, a timer? No. Frick. Yeah, so this is gonna take a while, it looks like. No. Ah. That's difficult. That's really, really difficult. Yeah, so I'm not getting it, I guess. Okay.
I think I found the source. It doesn't look too friendly. Mind if I use your power to crush this thing?
Okay, so hit enemies 3 times with the... Oh. Grapple them and Alright.
Of course. Nothing would make me happier than to help you shatter these golems of idolatry.
Idolatry? Are you kidding me? Oh. So they don't necessarily have to be in the air. But it helps, I guess. Oh, yeah, you can just bounce off them. Okay. It's cool.
You move with such grace. Are you sure you don't have vessel training?
Okay. Dodging bullets. What? Now we're just making it too complicated here. Wait, control? How? I don't know. I don't get it. Don't really think it's all that important. Okay, whatever. Oh, dang it. Yeah, I don't get it. Can I do this with like a controller? I wonder. I don't know if it will let me. Oh, fuck. Are you kidding me? Damn it. I mean, there's like a few things, but it won't let me. Damn it. Well, that sucks. New game, continue.
You move with such grace. Are you sure you don't have vessel training?
What? Let me see. Combine abilities, keep distance, attacking to dodge bullets. Dave using. I don't really see. Oh. Okay. What the hell? It's like really weird. I don't like that. It doesn't really feel all that great. I get that it's trying to teach me something here, but I don't really feel like I need to use this ability. I can't really seem to get it, yes. Come on now. Maybe if I can change where the ability is. I feel like this is more like a controller type game than anything. I just don't get, like, what am I supposed to do now? Do I really need to? Okay. If this is like a tutorial where it's just like you have to do this, then I'm not gonna get it.
Well done, Dart. I can feel.
No, I just need to survive, I guess.
I think you are ready to tap into more of my power.
Okay. Oh, no. Oh. Just trying to do something here. Shift. Okay, press shift twice to dash.
You never fail to impress, Kaya. It feels like I've known how to harness your abilities my whole life.
It does seem to come natural to you. Like when you ran on the walls earlier.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it.
My fingers just aren't meant for this.
That? I learned tricks like that on the ridges of Isai. You give them one hell of a boost, though.
Hey. Ew, okay. Ew, I get it, yeah. I see. Ooh. Cool. There's just like so much to remember here. Shift. Oh. No. Jeez. This is pretty fun, but it's just like a little much, especially with somebody who's not really used to playing PC games. Holy crap, man. No, make it. Just go. Go. Almost fell off. That would have sucked. Now where? Like I came around that way. I'm guessing this way? Right. No? Wait. Where am I supposed to go? Wait. What? So I came around that way. Yeah, so I am supposed to go that way. No, don't like do that to me. Damn it.
We're getting pretty close to the city. Do you think my mom and pop are okay?
I cannot guarantee anything, Dart, but we need to focus on the task at hand. I see more golems ahead. Are you prepared for combat?
I guess
Yeah.
this way? Well, do I have to fight them? Like I don't really see the point.
Whoa! Did you just do that?
Call it a team effort.
Yeah, I don't really see the point in fighting them. Like, can I just, like, leave? Or is it like a... Damn, dude. Really? More of these guys? Here. Okay. Where are these guys? I hear him? But, oh. Kind of dumb. More? Really? That sucks. You can juggle them, looks like. Ooh. Okay. Can I not, like, grapple onto them? And it'd be nice if I could just, like, be over with this. Feels like this is so unnecessary. So far, I feel like if this game was just like a puzzle game.
We are nearing the end, but there isn't an easy way forward. I'll have to use more of my power to help you.
Oh no. You haven't been, wait. So you haven't been using your full power? You've been holding out on me? What a bitch. It's just like, I'm gonna use my power. Come on, damn it. Yeah. Almost didn't make it there.
This is incredible. Were you able to do this the whole time?
Yes, but the strength it requires is immense. Your impromptu relic isn't enough to do this often.
Doesn't sound like anything more duct tape can't fix.
Man, the voice lines for this guy just are a little flat. I feel like he hasn't had like much direction. It's just like very, very flat reads. Don't. What the hell? What was all that? Jeez. Oh man. Is there like a way, or do I have to fight these guys? Oh, damn it. What the heck?
Do this darkness. No vessel of mine knows failure for long.
Hmm? Whoa. Whoa. Oh, dang it. Man, this guy like dies very quickly. Like very, very quickly. Kind of annoying. And again, I just don't see the point in fighting these guys. Like, why? Wow, okay, okay, ow. Ow. It's gonna be one of these things, huh? Wow. Oh, come on. I'm like grappling. I'm trying to grapple onto the enemy there, and it got like the light behind it. It's not cool. Break. Ah, fuck. Ah, damn it. There's like a bunch of them here. No, not the light, damn it. Fuck. It's like... Ah! Oh gosh, darn it. No! Frick. Oh man. Wait, there's no penalty to that? So like, wouldn't it be better just to like fall and then respawn back here trying to fight these guys? Okay. I like that beat. Whoa. Way better, right? Oh, come on. Starting the whole thing over again. Give me a break. Oh, come on. I can't get past this. I'm gonna be stuck here. Like, this is awful. Yeah, this is real bad gameplay. I don't like this. Ah! Yeah, this is awful. I don't think I like this game. Because it's like these parts where it's just like you have to fight. And I don't like that. I very much would rather just get through this. Okay. Oh. Where did that thing go? Huh. Hey, oh, more. Great. Oh, that's not fair. Got him. Maybe I didn't want to. Okay. Do I have to like wait? Oh, wait. Uh-oh. What the fuck? No, don't fucking... Ah! And that's the whole thing over again. This whole fight. This sucks. I don't like this game. I just feel like this is all just unnecessary. Like, you just don't need this. Again, making it more of a platform puzzle. What the heck? Where am I? I don't think having that ability actually does anything good. Fuck. Oh man. Yeah, I think I'm done with this game. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's not fun. It is not fun. And there's no controller support for it. Yeah. It's not fun. Uninstalled instantly. All right. Yeah, I can see why people aren't playing this. I will be right back. All right, I'm back. Let me see here. I actually can't think of anything to do tonight. I thought that game was going to take a lot longer And yeah, it just was not fun. Yeah, let me see here. No, not Steam. I think I might just have a short stream tonight. Yeah. I think I'm just gonna end it here. I can't really think of much to do tonight. Oh no, wait. I actually want to play World of Horror if that's all right. Because I have not played in a while. And so yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Oh, I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, why not? Do that tonight. Play a little bit. I'll probably do one session. Because I don't just play a little bit of it. Let me see, is it? Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's it there. No. What is it then? Ah. What the heck? Oh, yeah, that's right. It's a... No? Really? What? Game window. Oh. I'm always forgetting this. Specific window. Where is it? World of Horror. Yeah, there you go. Ah! But it always does this. Dang it. Oh, there we go. That works. That works. Ooh. Background's different. That's kind of spooky. Oh no, it changes. I guess I didn't notice that before. Continue. Yeah. Let me see. Quick play. Yeah, we'll do a quick play here. I haven't done this one before. The Thing Forgotten by God. Banished to the other dimension a long time ago. I don't know how to pronounce that. Was found by what has found a way to use mirrors to ensure teleportation. It's pretty straightforward. Reflect glass. The glimpse behind your reflection are just the beginning of a real nightmare. Ooh, jeez. Battle Bones Run. Let me see. Battle Bones. Brittle bones run in your family, and you spent each summer in a cast. Ooh, you start with XP bandage. Just an injury may occur whenever the player takes damage in combat. Oh, jeez. That's awful. Let me see here. I can probably make this a little bigger, right? Let's just get into the mystery. I'll do that next time. Ooh, Crimson Cape. Let's do this one. A chilling chronicle of a Crimson Cape. A new game is spreading among your friends. I dare to stay in the unused school restroom after class. I dare to meet Akamanto. One of your friends says he doesn't believe in curses and instead to complete the dangerous dare. Gather gossip about the current mystery. Schoolyard. Let's hear what you have to say. Let me see. Latest gossip. It's been so hard to get any sleep lately. Okay. How did you do on your English exam? Bad. I did very bad on my English. Access roof. Ooh. Talk to student. Set up telescope. Return. Oh. Hello. You're new. Latest gossip. Let me see. Recently, the tap water in the entire neighborhood started tasting weird, almost like blood. Ooh. Wait, that didn't count? Well, that kind of sucks. Oh man. A tall woman with an unsettling face and twitching lip stops you. I'm your new biology teacher. Could you help me move some stuff to my new office? Helper. Oh man. You've reported that your principal, who promised will take care of it. With your friend safe for now, you look into the legend. Maybe records in the city library may contain, or city's library make mention of Akamanto. Maybe investigate downtown. Oh no. The investigation is starting to take a toll on your health. You feel like you're about to fall asleep standing up. How do you address your weakened state? Let me see. Take a nap. The world may fall apart, but you really needed that. Kai? What is this? Scan. You read a story about a vengeful samurai for wearing a crimson red cape. It's an interesting find for sure, but you need to find more information. Go back to school. What the hell just happened? Freaking A. The door shouldn't be there. It shouldn't lead anywhere. More importantly, it shouldn't pull you in. Resist. Enter. Slowly you enter the unknown. Lost in time and space, you drift in nothingness until something pulls you towards the light. Uh-oh. I think I screwed up. Oh no. Oh geez, a parasitic star is looming over the dying civilization. Is this the fate of our own planet as well? Enter the destroyed temple. Inside a decaying nave, you find a keepsake from the ancient world. Countless skeletons and corpses have swirled in the air. Oh, jeez. One of the and just like that, it's over. Like nothing happened. Oh, wow. One of the articles mentioned a young doctor who performed life-saving surgeries on a victim of a brutal assault. The assault happened in a toilet stall. Maybe he still works at the hospital. Maybe he still works at the hospital and can share some information. Let's see. Let's see. As you glance around you, notice that more and more people are wearing strange masks, unlike anything you've ever seen before. As you turn to your friends for reverence, you notice that some of them are also wearing these eerie masks. Their voices sound muffled and distorted, and you can't shake off the feeling that they're not quite right themselves. The hair on the back of your neck stand on end, and you realize something is terribly wrong. Ooh, prepare for something. You learn that the doctor suddenly left the hospital after the latest murder, taking all of the records with him. Why would he do that? That's not the only bad news. Your friend didn't come to school today, and another body has suddenly been found. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, there's a face there. Oh, that's not great. Ah! The principal has ordered the school to be closed down for the investigation. Oh, jeez. That was a giant face. That's terrifying. You were planning out your next steps. I got to thinking about everything that needed to be done, and then everything that could happen, and everything awful thing that already happened, and now all you can think about is just how scary and terrible things are. Push through it. Gotta push through it. You break the window and get inside the school unnoticed. The cursed toilet is located on the 3rd floor. Get over there. Yep. Let's go see. Let's go see. Suddenly everything slows to a crawl. Time warper. What the heck? What the heck? All damage. Damn. Can we get this guy? Hey! Resolved. There's no turning back now. You step into the last stall and close the door behind you. Investigate the toilet. You wait in the stall, trying to be quiet as possible. Suddenly, squish, squeak. You hear the sound of rubber boots as an unknown liquid drips from the tiles. Squish, squeak. You can see the top of the hand. He's taller than any man you've ever seen. The door slowly opens. A masked man dressed in red coat, clearly too tall for the ceiling, emerges from outside. Tell me, his voice sounds like a faulty radio. Would you like red paper or blue? Blue. The man in red coat grabs you by the neck and starts choking you. You kick him and rush to the door. Jeez. You hear a click coming from the door's direction. You're locked in there with the crazy man. Oh, damn. That's all I can do. I don't have anything else. He's got 22 health. I don't think I'm gonna make it. Yep, I'm not gonna make it. Oh, damn it. Well, there's nothing else I can do here. Already dead. How am I still fighting? Yeah, that encounter was the final straw. Your mind has snapped and you've been locked up in the asylum. It would be a comfort to accept that you were insane, that no old god is awakening to devour humanity. But the drugs haven't made these horrible horrors disappear. Jeez. Only 12 minutes. Alright. Oh, man. Well, I did say I'd only do one round. I did say that. I did. Alright, I think I'm just gonna end it there. Like, I should have just ended it earlier, but yeah. Think I'm just gonna do a short stream. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Really appreciate it. I'll do a longer stream next time. But no, I'm just gonna end it there. So thank you for joining me tonight. If you're watching on YouTube, hello, and thank you for watching. If you like what you see, maybe consider subscribing. I stream every day, just about, and I post these after the stream. So yeah, I will be seeing you guys next time, all right? Well, thank you so much, and bye-bye.